Hi everyone, last episode we created a simple noise filter which allows us to get some fairly interesting terrain. However, there's only so much variety that we can get with this. So in this episode we'll be implementing a new filter for creating terrain that has more ridge-like features. So the basic idea goes like this. We start with our noise function, which I'll just visualize as a sine wave. We then take the absolute value of this, which you can see forms these sharp valleys. We want the peaks to be sharp though, so we can invert it by subtracting from 1. If we want the peaks to be even sharper, we can raise the final value to some power. Okay, so in Unity I'm going to start by creating a new C# script, which I'll call the rigid noise filter. And I'll open that up. And I'm quickly going to go into the old noise filter. I'm going to rename this simple noise filter. And I'm just going to copy the contents of this and paste that into the rigid noise filter because a lot of that's going to be the same. Don't want the rigid noise filter to inherit from mono behavior, so I'll quickly remove that. And I'll just rename the constructor here to be rigid noise filter. Okay, now as I was saying a moment ago, in order to get the nice peaks and ridges, we want to take our noise value and first get the absolute value of that. So I'll pass it into the mathf.abs function, and then we want to invert it by subtracting it from 1. We can also then make the ridges more pronounced by squaring the value, so I'll just say v times equals v. Now in the simple noise filter we were doing v plus 1 times a half to get v in the range from 0 to 1, but here because we've taken the absolute value of the noise function, it's going to be in the range 0 to 1 already, so we can leave that out. Now another feature of this filter is that we want the noise in the ridges to be a lot more detailed compared to the noise in the sort of valleys below. The way we'll do this is by weighting the noise in each layer based on the layers that came before it. So up here I'm going to create a float weight equal to 1, and then in each layer we can multiply v by that weight. After doing that we'll set the weight equal to v for the next layer. This way, regions that start out fairly low down will remain relatively undetailed compared to regions that start higher up. Okay, let's now save this and go into the shape generator class. And here we've got our array of noise filters, and at the moment these are all of type simple noise filter, but we want this array to be able to hold simple noise filters as well as rigid noise filters, and also any other type of noise filter that we might create in the future. So I'm going to go back into Unity, and I'm going to create a new C# script called iNoiseFilter, and another new script called NoiseFilter Factory. Alright, I'll start by going into iNoiseFilter, and this is going to be a public interface, and in here we'll define the one method that any class has to have if it wants to qualify as a noise filter. And that's going to be this evaluate method, which returns a float and takes in a vector 3 for the point. Alright, so I'll save this, go into the rigid noise filter, and just say that this implements the iNoiseFilter interface, and do the same thing in the simple noise filter. Then I'm going to open the noise settings class, and this is going to have a public enum for the filter type, and here we can just list the different filters we have. So at the moment it's just simple and rigid, and then we can have public filter type, and I'll just call that the filter type. Save that, and now I'm going to open up the factory class that we created. This is going to be a public static class, and it's going to have a public static method returning a iNoise filter, and I'll call this create noise filter, and we'll take in noise settings. So the type of noise filter that it's going to create will depend on the filter type specified in the settings. So we can do a switch settings.filterType, and then we can just go through all the cases. So we've got the simple case where we'll return a new simple noise filter, passing in settings. And then we've got the rigid case. Here we'll return new rigid noise filter, passing in settings, and those are the only two that we have at the moment. And if it happens to not be any of those, which should be impossible, we'll just return null. Alright, so now we can save this and return to the shape generator, and instead of an array of simple noise filters, we'll have an array of I noise filters, so that it can hold any of the noise filters we might create. And then over here, where we're assigning to the noise filter array, we can set this equal to noisefilterFactory.createNoiseFilter and pass in settings.noiselayers_I.noise_settings. Okay, let's save this and head into Unity to try this out. So I'll go into the planet, and once that's finished compiling, I am going to make a third noise layer, and I'm just going to go into these first two and just disable them, so that I'm just looking at this one on its own, and I'm not going to use the first layer as a layer mask, which immediately makes it rather massive. I'll just turn down the strength a whole lot, and I'm going to change the filter type here from simple to rigid. However, when I do this, I'm getting an error complaining of an array type mismatch, which is because I forgot to do something earlier. And this is, we have this array of I noise filters, but we're still initializing it to an array of simple noise filters, so it gets very upset when we try and assign a rigid noise filter here. So we just need to change this to be an array of I noise filters. Okay, I'll save that, and go back to Unity, wait for that to compile. I'll just clear this error message as well, and then I'll just set this to rigid so that it updates. And now we can play around with this noise. So I'm going to set the number of layers to 1, and I'll set the min value to 0. And you can see we get something that looks like this. And we can increase the base roughness, and it looks kind of weird. But what will happen as we add more layers is it will start to look kind of mountainous. Now, the strength is way too high at the moment, so let me change this to maybe, let's say 0.05. And now you can see we're getting these nice ridges with valleys in between. So I'll just play with these settings a little bit more, maybe increase the persistence a little bit, and increase the roughness, decrease the base roughness, or maybe increase it, I don't know. Just basically fiddle around until it starts to look good. Let me look at this in conjunction with the continents layer. It's a little bit hard to see actually, so let me now use the first layer as a mask and then increase the strength here so that this juts out. And okay, it's kind of hard to gauge when it's all one color, but I think this is starting to look fairly nice. Okay, I'd now like to head over to the noise settings class. So currently we have these two noise filters, simple and rigid, and both of them are making use of these exact same settings. But you can imagine that for some noise filters, we might want to have a bunch of additional settings. For example, let me just make a new setting for the rigid noise filter. This will be a float. I'll call this weight multiplier, and I'll give it a default value of, say, 0.8. I'll save that, and in the rigid noise filter, I'll say weight is equal to v multiplied by settings.weight multiplier. And just to guarantee that weight never grows greater than 1, I'm just going to clamp this between 0 and 1. Okay, so I'll save this, go into Unity, and now we have this new noise setting, weight multiplier, which we can play around with. But the irritating thing is that for a simple noise filter, this weight multiplier value doesn't do anything at all. So you can imagine how sort of cluttered and confusing this could quickly become if we start making more noise filters, each with their own special settings. Now, I'm not actually planning on covering any more noise filters in this series, but I still want to show how one might solve this problem so that if you want to experiment with new noise filters on your own, things don't sort of turn into a terrible mess. What I'll do is go into the noise settings, and over here I'll create a public class called simple noise settings. and I will have all of these simple noise settings inside of there. And I want this to be serializable, so I'll add that attribute. And then I'll have another class, call this the rigid noise settings. And I want this to also have all of the simple noise settings in it, so I'll just inherit from simple noise settings. And then it's going to have this one noise setting that is unique to it in there. This should also be serialized, so let me add that attribute there. And then up here we can have public simple noise settings, just call that simple noise settings, and public rigid noise settings, call that rigid noise settings. And then we can go into the simple noise filter and just change the settings type here to noise settings dot simple noise settings, and over here as well. Okay, save that, go into the rigid noise filter, change its settings type to rigid noise settings, and in the constructor as well. And then in the filter factory, we'll have to pass the appropriate settings type into the constructor. So this will be simple noise settings, and this will be rigid noise settings. And then we can save that. Now, going back into Unity, this is maybe a little bit nicer, because now if we open up our simple noise settings, then we don't have any of the settings that don't belong to it there. And if we open up the rigid noise settings, then we've got all of these plus the weight multiplier here. However, it would really be a lot nicer if only the settings type that corresponded with the selected filter type would show up over here. And to achieve that, we need some editor scripting, which I'm not going to go into in the series, but I'll just supply the scripts. You can download them from the description. These scripts are largely the work of Brecht-Lecluze. I've just modified them slightly for the series. There's a conditional hide attribute script, and also a conditional hide property drawer script, which needs to go into the editor folder. Once those are imported, we can go into the noise settings and add a conditional hide attribute here. So we want to hide this based on the value of the filter type variable, and we want it to be displayed only when the enum index is 0. In other words, it is the simple filter type. Then we can just copy this for the rigid noise settings, and this should be displayed when the enum index is 1. Okay, so we can save that, go into Unity, and once this compiles, we should see that when it's simple, we have the simple noise settings displayed here, and when it's rigid, we have the rigid noise settings displayed. Okay, so I think that's quite nice, but in the process, unfortunately, I have lost the planet settings, so I'm just going to speed up the video while I enter some reasonable values. Okay, coming to the last thing I'd like to do this episode, we obviously always want to preview the planet at the highest possible resolution, but this comes with the trade-off that changes to the settings will take a lot longer to reflect in the scene view. So I would quite like to add an option to the planet to only render a single face at a time, just to speed things up when we're playing with settings at a higher resolution. So I'm going to go into the planet script, and over here I'll create a public enum called something like face render mask, and I'll have the first option be all, to render all the faces, and then I can render just the top face, the bottom, left, right, front, or back. Alright, I'll then have a public face render mask, and just call that the face render mask. Okay, now when we're creating the terrain faces in the initialize method here, I will say bool render face is true if the face render mask is equal to all, or if the index of the face render mask, so I'll cast to int the face render mask, -1, because the first element is all. If that is equal to I, then the current terrain face is the one that we want to render. So I can then say mesh filters with an index of I dot gameObject dot set active based on this render face bool. Alright, then in the generate mesh method, I'm going to replace this for each loop with a for loop, going from I equals 0 to I less than 6, And here I'll say if mesh filters i.gameObject.activeSelf. So if it's active, only then will I say terrain faces with an index of i.constructMesh. Okay, so now if we go into Unity, go into the planet, once this compiles, we should be able to say just render the top face, and then you can see that there. And now, even at a resolution of 256, we should be able to see this updating rather rapidly. Let me just change this back to all to make sure that that still works, and it does appear to, so that's pretty nice. Okay, that is going to be everything for this episode, so until next time, cheers.